Election Eve, we are back with James Carville as we turn, as promised, the new numbers for the first time tonight. Now, there's been talk about this Republican momentum. Incumbents do usually lose seats in these midterms that are the first when they've taken the White House. But some of the numbers tell a more layered story. So James is going to get reaction to us on this. Let me take you through the facts. More people are voting early. I mentioned that. That could mean anything. It could also just mean a general shift as more voters become comfortable with the habit of voting early, not necessarily aligned by party. But the new vote totals we have tonight show party registration in many states. So at this point in 2018, let me show you why Democrats are getting excited in some places. This is 2018, where Republicans had higher turnout in Ohio. This cycle, new numbers tonight for the final pre-election vote, Democrats now have a higher turnout by 5 points. Go to Georgia, which has seen its share of excitement and shifts. 4 years ago, Republicans were leading in the early turnout by 5 points. Now, Democrats leading there in the early turnout by a whopping 8+ points. Now, let me be very clear. This does not tell you who will win. Typically, the majority of votes are still cast on Election Day, which is tomorrow. But it does offer a trend line. Democrats getting excited about their turnout in some of those big states. Then there's a surge for Republicans in Florida in 2018. They led there in this early vote by 2 points. Now they're doing even better, leading by 7. Finally on our list, Wisconsin, a key state that Trump narrowly won in 16. Republicans led by 10 points in that early voting there in 18. Right now, Wisconsin Democrats lead early voting by 3 points based on these Target Smart numbers. James Carville is back with us. As you know, James, people love polls. They love that generic ballot poll. With all due respect, ain't no generic ballot election, okay?
Right.
So you just poll. You could poll it and talk about it. Right. Ain't no generic ballot election. There is an election in the states I just showed you. 3 of 4 of those key states have the earlier Democratic turnout. You're on the record, so we'll check back days later whether you're right or not. But what, if anything, does that say to you tonight?
You know, I'm not a quant. I'm not Charlie Cook. I'm not David Wasserman. I'm on the different end of the elephant or the horse here, if you will. But I got to say,
you're in the barn.
I'm in the barn. Those numbers are impressive. I mean, I don't know what they mean. But, gee, I looked at him. I'm going like, is that big of a turnaround? I'm not know what it means. I'd have to ask Charlie or David. But I think it means something.
Well, you're almost selling yourself a little short.
It means young people and females.
You're not a quant. Well, you tell me if this is right or not. You're not a quant in the way that the chief of staff or even sometimes the CIA director does not create the intelligence. They receive the intelligence. But when you were a top-flight strategist, as you've been on more than one presidential campaign, you'd get all the numbers coming in. And so, obviously, if you're a Democrat at a certain level, this is better than the alternative. Better to start counting up a lead than not. But do you have any way to know, are the people just voting differently now that early voting has become more normalized?
I honestly, Ari, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Peter Hart of Sage Man told me very early in my career, I asked him, who do you think is going to win based on poll? He said, my job is not to predict elections, it's to affect elections, and that should be your job. And I took Peter's advice to heart. I'm not. They got plenty of people in the prediction industry. I'm trying to tell people right now, they're gonna shut the government down to cut your Social Security and Medicare. You better go out and vote. All right? They told you that they would ban abortion. You didn't believe them. They did. You better pay attention to them. So I'm going to be swinging to affect this vote, to get people out to vote right to the last minute. I don't know what these mean, but they can't mean anything bad. Okay?
Not bad for your side. And let's dig into Georgia, where those issues are on the table. You talk about what it means to have women's rights or choice in Georgia, a state that has been evolving, that also is the center of this Trump criminal probe, and that's sort of on some people's minds there. And then you have Herschel Walker, who has the ultimate Marie, and this is early vote there, where Democrats are surging in this early vote as of tonight, new numbers. Herschel Walker has a kind of a Marie Antoinette hypocrisy thing going. He wants to control your life. I mean, I say this as a policy analysis. I'm not here to beat up on the man one way or the other, just as a fact. His policy is he gets to do things you don't. He will make medical decisions through the law for you, your family, your doctor, and then he'll do whatever the heck he wants anyway. Is that, do you think, hurting him in Georgia, where Democrats seem to be surging?
But if you notice, I have this LSU shirt on, so I'm a very proud fan of SEC football. Herschel Walker and Tommy Tuberville, an embarrassment to the Southeastern Conference. There's something wrong with that guy. Nobody can be that duplicitous in good air, bad air. I mean, he needs to have a brain scan or something.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber. Thanks for watching The Beat. I wanted to let you know I'm writing a foreword to the January 6th committee's full report, which is coming out soon from HarperCollins. You can go pre-order the book right now, and it'll come to you first when the report comes out in the fall or whenever the government releases it. Just search Melber Jan 6th on Amazon or your favorite independent book site and click pre-order. You'll be the first to get both the report and my new piece on the coup conspiracy. You can also go to melberbook.com and order it there.